Today is September 4th, 2023. Labor Day holiday weekend in the United States, a holiday worldwide for American facilities and installations. I'm Esmeralda Padilla Gold and welcome to The Pulse.
And I'm Sam Buban.
Donald Trump, who is among the 19 charged criminally in the state of Georgia in connection with the interference in the 2020 election in an effort to overturn the win of Joseph Biden, has pleaded not guilty by way of a court filing last Thursday, August 31st. Trump waived his right to an in-person arraignment, but instead filed a plea document in court ahead of a scheduled arraignment for Wednesday, September 3rd, 2023. Georgia law allows the defendant to enter a plea by way of a court filing. The former president also asked through his counsel, Stephen Sado, that his trial be separated from those defendants who had asked the court for a speedy trial, stating that he has no sufficient time to prepare for the October 23, 2023 trial. The lawyer also cited that forcing the trial date would violate Donald Trump's federal and state constitutional rights and due process of law. His arraignment highlights as the fourth time Donald Trump has criminally been indicted and pleaded not guilty. For those of you who lost count, his first criminal indictment was in New York State prosecution relating to fraudulent representation on payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels. The second criminal indictment was a federal crime relating to the Mar-a-Lago top-secret documents, which he allegedly kept in spite of repeated requests for its return. The third criminal case was a racketeering case involving conspiracy to overturn the 2020 election, whereby Donald Trump so far is the only defendant, but with numerous unindicted conspirators. The case was a result of a special counsel Jack Smith's lengthy and extensive investigation. The fourth criminal indictment was made by Georgia's Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, which is so wide and far-reaching and includes alleged crimes committed on multiple states and has 19 defendants.
Donald Trump continued to attack through his social media, Truth Social, the prosecutors, judges in the criminal case he is faced with. His behavior is not a normal thing for a defendant. He called special counsel Jack Smith as deranged Jack Smith and Fani Willis as Trump-hating Fani Willis. And when he blames President Joe Biden, saying he weaponized the Justice Department against him and the Republicans who speaks, he calls the president as rotten Joe Biden. All these are described by many political observers as signs of a meltdown of Trump, as he is fearful of the prospect of being convicted of these crimes.
The curious case of Mark Meadows, the former White House Chief of Staff of Donald Trump, was on the witness stand for more than 5 hours last Tuesday, as if he was already on trial for his own involvement in the efforts to overturn the 2020 election of Joe Biden. But that wasn't the trial yet. The former White House Chief of Staff is asking the federal judge that he be tried in a federal court, claiming that because he was a federal employee, he should be tried in a federal court. So the judge scheduled an evidentiary hearing to determine if there is merit on his claim. But many lawyers commented that this is going to be an uphill battle, because a criminal participation to influence an election in behalf of his boss is not part of his job description as a federal employee. At the end of the evidentiary hearing, Judge Jones announced that he will be needing more information before he can render a decision of whether to grant or deny Mark Meadows' petition.
Donald Trump's Republican supporters, including some elected officials outside Georgia, had asked publicly Governor Kemp of Georgia to call the legislature to a special session in order to impeach District Attorney Fani Willis for prosecuting Trump. But Governor Kemp, in a televised statement, refused such a move. As of Friday last week, before the courts went for the Labor Day holiday weekend, already 2 separate cases has been filed in state courts seeking to disqualify Donald Trump in the Republican primary. The first case was filed in the state of Florida by a lawyer who is registered as an independent, asking a state court for a declaratory relief or an outright decision without Trump having to defend it, that the state court judge should disqualify Trump under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States for having participated in acts of rebellion against the United States. The second case was filed in Michigan by a Republican asking the Michigan Secretary of State to remove Donald Trump from the Republican primary ballot, citing also Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. The scholarly work of two conservative jurists and law professors who are members of the Federalist Society that is yet to be published in the University of Pennsylvania Law Review has already encouraged two petitions to disqualify Trump to be filed. This was predicted by lawyer Michael Popak of the Midas Touch Network Legal Podcast, who first reported about the position of the two jurists from the Federalist Society, and the polls ran a story about that last week.
The devastation in Florida and part of Georgia, including South Carolina, brought about by the Category 3 Hurricane Idalia, has left damage to homes and other infrastructure and flooding in at least 2 states because of heavy rains. Power lines were down in many counties as recovery efforts are underway. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, are leading the federal government effort to bring in relief and financial assistance to victims of the calamity. According to FEMA, Administrator Deanne Criswell, during a press briefing, said that $700 for immediate needs are being distributed as a standard practice in the immediate aftermath. FEMA funds are available for disaster victims and should apply for several categories of financial assistance and low-interest loans for rebuilding and relocations. FEMA personnel are usually on the ground to assist with the application process. If you are a victim of this hurricane, you should contact FEMA. You can find them in the internet on how to contact them. Only more than a week ago, it was California and Pacific Coast states that experienced Category 4 Hurricane Hilary. The strong winds and heavy rain caused widespread damage and flooding, as far as Las Vegas, Nevada, who sustained water runoff and flooding. We are going to take a commercial break. Please stick around.
We use headphones as a part of our everyday lives. Whether we're at work, getting exercise, meditating, in transit, studying, practicing, or relaxing.
Hi, I'm Ryan Sway, the founder of Aircom. I would like to introduce the world's first wireless airflow audio earbuds. As a festival and a concert junkie, I really enjoy the live experience of being there and feeling the music. When we started developing Airflow, our goal was to reproduce that live experience using earbuds.
The problem with traditional headphones is that the speakers are located inside of the earpiece, literally giving you centimeters before the audio hits your eardrum.
What Aircom is doing, they're the first company to actually address the fact that there needs to be a space involved associated with having the sound waves expand fully.
The difference between traditional headphones and Aircom audio is that the air tube gives you 8 times more space, allowing the sound waves to fully develop before they actually hit your eardrums. And this gives it a much more live, natural sound, just like in a recording studio.
It's real nice that someone actually addressed the physics associated with how sound comes out.
The challenge we had was to create an earbud with enough airspace for the sound to fully develop and breathe. Unfortunately, traditional earbuds are about the size of a jelly bean, and there's just not enough airspace. However, that changed when we developed Airflow Audio. Airflow uses an air tube to deliver 6 to 8 times more airspace than traditional earbuds. The end result is a true live listening experience, just like you're at a festival or a concert. We also added magnets to the back of the earpieces so you can wear it around your neck when you're not using it.
Being that the drivers are 8 inches from the earpiece, the magnets do not affect the integrity of the sound at all.
The orange line represents the frequency transmitting through the wire to the speaker, which then converts to the blue sound wave that develops more as it travels up the air tube, producing a balanced, full body and live listening experience.
Another really cool feature is that these earbuds are sweat-proof and water-resistant because they're coated with a super hydrophobic nanotechnology. So now you can be on a skateboard or riding a motorcycle and listen to music as if you were watching a live show or actually in a recording studio.
We're coming to you for help in bringing these unparalleled earbuds to market.
Welcome back to The Pulse. Another tragedy from fire happened last week in Johannesburg, South Africa. At least 73 people have died in the multi-story building fire, including 7 children, the emergency services agencies in South Africa said, in the largest city of Johannesburg. They also reported that as many as 43 people has been injured. A report from the Guardian newspaper says that people were evacuated from the burning building and a search and rescue operations are continuing. According to an emergency services spokesperson, Robert Maludzi, this particular disaster was the worst of such kind in recent memories. He said that in his service of 20 years, he had not seen anything like it. It described the building itself had a lot of informal settlements and a lot of debris that needed to be removed. It is believed there were homeless people that settled in the multi-story building. Our hearts and prayers goes to the victims of this disaster in Johannesburg.
In the Philippines, the fugitive Congressman Arnolfo Teves, who was expelled from Congress, was also formally charged with the murder of 3 people, including the governor of Negros Oriental Province, Rochelle de Gamo. Arnolfo Teves was formally charged for the crime at the Regional Trial Court in Manila. Teves, who left the country in February this year after he became the target of a murder investigation that led also to a Senate hearing to shed light in the multiple murders, in aid of legislation, has yet to return to the Philippines to face charges. Teves remained in the United States according to the Philippine Department of Justice. A warrant of arrest was yet to be issued by the court and may likely lead to a request for extradition of the fugitive former congressman.
Also in the Philippines, the Filipinos mourns the loss of its television icon, Mike Enriquez. Mike Enriquez was a popular TV personality who was a primetime news anchor and host of the program Investigador, an investigative reporting show on primetime. The beloved Mike Enriquez died last week on Tuesday, August 29th. Although no official announcement on the cause of his death from GMA Network was made, he was believed to have died from a long battle with illness such as heart conditions and kidney complications. Mike Enriquez, you will be missed by Filipinos worldwide who watch your show. Our condolences also to the family.
In the state of Nevada, the state Supreme Court on Thursday last week upheld a lower court sanction against the Nevada State Division of Public and Behavioral Health. Last year, the 8th Judicial District found the DPBH in contempt for delaying psychiatric treatment of criminal defendants unfit for trial. The court imposed $500 per day fine against the agency. The state's Division of Public and Behavioral Health has for years struggled to provide timely mental health treatment for criminal defendants found to be mentally incompetent. The state only has 2 psychiatric facilities, the Stein Hospital in Las Vegas and Lakes Crossing Center in Sparks, Nevada. But they lack the sufficient staff and facility. When we come back, we will be joined here at the studio to talk with former Congresswoman Shelley Berkley, so please stay with us.
We use headphones as a part of our everyday lives. Whether we're at work, getting exercise, meditating, in transit, studying, practicing, or relaxing.
Hi, I'm Ryan Sway, the founder of Aircom. I would like to introduce the world's first wireless airflow audio earbuds. As a festival and a concert junkie, I really enjoy the live experience of being there and feeling the music. When we started developing Airflow, our goal was to reproduce that live experience using earbuds.
The problem with traditional headphones is that the speakers are located inside of the earpiece, literally giving you centimeters before the audio hits your eardrum.
What Aircom is doing, they're the first company to actually address the fact that there needs to be a space involved associated with having the sound waves expand fully.
The difference between traditional headphones and Aircom audio is that the air tube gives you 8 times more space, allowing the sound waves to fully develop before they actually hit your eardrums. And this gives it a much more live, natural sound, just like in a recording studio.
It's real nice that someone actually addressed the physics associated with how sound comes out.
The challenge we had was to create an earbud with enough airspace for the sound to fully develop and breathe. Unfortunately, traditional earbuds are about the size of a jelly bean, and there's just not enough airspace. However, that changed when we developed Airflow Audio. Airflow uses an air tube to deliver 6 to 8 times more airspace than traditional earbuds. The end result is a true live listening experience, just like you're at a festival or a concert. We also added magnets to the back of the earpieces so you can wear it around your neck when you're not using it.
Being that the drivers are 8 inches from the earpiece, the magnets do not affect the integrity of the sound at all.
The orange line represents the frequency transmitting through the wire to the speaker, which then converts to the blue sound wave that develops more as it travels up the air tube, producing a balanced, full body and live listening experience.
Another really cool feature is that these earbuds are sweat-proof and water-resistant because they're coated with a super hydrophobic nanotechnology. So now you can be on a skateboard or riding a motorcycle and listen to music as if you were watching a live show or actually in a recording studio.
We're coming to you for help in bringing these unparalleled earbuds to market.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
Welcome back to The Pulse. Here with us now at the studio is former Congresswoman Shelley Berkley, running to be the next mayor of the city of Las Vegas. Congresswoman, will you be leading the city in its larger, more diverse population, more complex than it was when you were a congressional representative?
Well, first, before I answer, let me thank you for inviting me. I was so excited when you called, and I'm very excited about the interview. To answer your question, as you know, and what you alluded to, is my congressional district overlaid the city of Las Vegas. So there's not much going on in the city of Las Vegas that I didn't work on when I was representing the city in a different capacity as the Congresswoman from the city of Las Vegas. I had a majority-minority congressional district when I was serving in Congress. I know this area very well. As a matter of fact, where we are sitting now is pretty much where I grew up when my family first moved to town in 1963. Look, I had, in my congressional district, by the time I finished in Congress, 42% of my congressional district was Hispanic. African American, Asian. As you know, there is a very large Filipino population. Back then, and that was about 12 years ago, there were about 100,000 Filipinos living in Southern Nevada, and I worked very hard to get to know the community very well. So I don't think yes, it's more complex. Yes, more people are moving in, and there's a much larger population, but I know this community well. I've been a part of it for the last 60 years, and I think there isn't anything that's happening right now that I haven't dealt with and feel very confident that I could deal with in the future. I think our best years are ahead of us, and I think the next decade is going to be explosive in the city of Las Vegas. All of Southern Nevada, but in particular, the city of Las Vegas. We're in for some very exciting times.
You practically grew up in Las Vegas.
I did.
Having lived here since your junior high school years, as a transplant from New York, you've been very active in Las Vegas since your college years and had a long career in public service starting in the state assembly. My question is, what are the issues, challenges every Las Vegas mayor now faces in our time? What's encouraging you to run for the mayor position?
I'm going to divide that into two questions, and you've obviously done your homework. I did grow up in Las Vegas. I went to John C. Fremont Junior High School. I'm part of the first graduating class at Valley High School, and I'm the first person in my family to go to college. And of course, UNLV was the place that changed my life. It might as well have been Harvard for me. It gave me an education that created the person that I am today. So I'm very high on UNLV as well. There are a number of issues that when you go around now as a candidate asking business people and people that live here and call Southern Nevada home and live within the city of Las Vegas, these are the issues, and they're all interrelated. First one is homelessness. What are we going to do to address the homeless problem, challenge that we have? It's not unique to Las Vegas, obviously. It's a nationwide problem, but it is an issue that has to be addressed and dealt with. Number two, affordable housing. You'll notice that there's a connection between homelessness and affordable housing. When my parents bought our very first home, it was here in Las Vegas. It was right near Valley High School, because I went to Valley. It was the Party cinder block homes. My parents paid $33,000 for that house. It's still standing, by the way. I think it's my responsibility as an elected official, and certainly as mayor of Las Vegas, to make sure that people that are coming up behind me have the same opportunities that my family had when we first moved to town, and certainly affordable housing is one of those challenges. The next one is crime. Everybody wants to, understandably so, me as well. I want to, now my children have children of their own, but when my grandchildren go out to play, I don't want to have to worry that they may not come back, that they can't walk down to the park and play with their friends for fear that they might be accosted. And so, as you probably know, I'm very good friends with the new sheriff, and more than good friends. We've worked together on a number of issues. I like his brand of policing, and I think that I will be a very good partner with him to do everything that I can within my power as mayor to lower the crime rate. And actually, I met with him and his team recently. Crime is down in Las Vegas. The only crime that is going up is robberies of automobiles. And I found that to be very, very interesting. But all other crimes are going down. But still, we want to make sure that our families and our neighborhoods are safe. So those are the three. But in addition to those that we must work on, economic growth and development. I think the next decade is going to be going to be the most successful in the history of Las Vegas. Now, I know the gaming industry. I was in gaming for quite a while, and so I know a good deal about the industry that is the engine that drives this economic chain. But I'm also, and have been, a member for the last 10 years of the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. What is that? That is a group of 50 people on the board of like-minded citizens that our mission is to attract businesses that have good paying jobs and bringing them to Southern Nevada. Why? So we can diversify the economy so we're not solely dependent on one industry.
If there's anything that you would like to convey to the voters and residents of Las Vegas as you seek their support in this upcoming mayoral election, what would it be?
Oh, well, thank you very much for that question. I believe that I have the background and experience, the knowledge, and the enthusiasm to make a wonderful mayor for the people of the city of Las Vegas. My family has called Las Vegas home for the last 60 years. I grew up here. I've been educated here. My family loves this community. I love this community. And I promise, if I have your support, that I will always put your interests above my own. And I thank you very much. Don't forget to register to vote. And most importantly, please exercise your prerogative and your right as an American citizen to cast your ballot in November.
Thank you for watching The Pulse. I'm Esmeralda Padilla Gould.
And I'm Sam Buman. God bless your week.